I'm back! G'day guys, this is Broadcasting Because finally we are back with the Fremantle Dockers AFL Live Season Mode. You guys have wanted it and here it is. Why did it take so long? Basically I had so many problems fixing. There was a problem with the file that I recorded. There was a problem where whenever I tried to edit it in the editing program I have, then the program would run so slowly or it would just crash. It was so weird, I don't know why, but I finally worked around it enough to get the episode done. So there you go guys, we head into this match against the Collingwood Magpies. Unchanged, let's get this underway. Now, a couple of very important things to notice for this match. Collingwood have Travis Cloke. They're really the only two words that I think you need, because in this game, he is one of the best forwards without a doubt. I gave Michael Johnson a tagging role on Cloke to try and shut him down, and I think he did a pretty decent job early on in the first quarter. As you see there, we were able to grab the first behind, but it was Collingwood's penetrating kicks into the forward 50, which really put our defenders under some struggle. Thankfully, Cracker was running through to just about an open goal square, but he could not find the big sticks. We finally get a bit of a run on with Chris Mayne finding some space after a spillage over the back. Aaron Sandilands is left on his own and he is not going to miss those. Strolls in for the first goal of the game from about 35 metres out. And how about that? Kepler Bradley wheels around onto the left, kicks it with his right and slams home the Dockers' second goal of the opening term to put us up by 13 points over Collingwood. Now don't ask me what Pendlebury was thinking there, but he kicked it to a pack. Going back inside his defensive 50, Hayden Ballantyne does extremely well to jump up and grab it, but it is only spoiled through. And Adam McPhee, you can see there once again, every time they tried to clear it out, we had a Docker to take the mark on or around that 50-metre arc, and we're able to get the ball out, kicks it back in. That is an excellent piece of play from Jack Anthony to centre the ball to the top of the square along the ground, finds Kepler Bradley who snaps it over his shoulder. That is very smart play from Jack Anthony and a classy finish from Braddles as well. You can see from a couple of clips here that it was only inside the last 5 minutes of the quarter that Collingwood really started to press inside their forward 50, but they had their chances and they could not find the big sticks. It took Andrew Cracker with just 2 minutes left on the clock to kick their first goal of the match, and at quarter time it was 1-4-10 Collingwood, 3-3-21 to the Dockers. Kepler Bradley kicking 2 early goals, Crowley, Duffield, Jolly and Ball all getting a lot of the sharing. It might have taken a little while for the game to open up in the first quarter, but it did not take long in the second. Michael Johnson, who is proving one of the unsung heroes of the Dockers side, bombs it into the path of Nat Fyfe, who despite the pressure from behind is able to kick it through for the Dockers' 4th goal of the match to extend that lead even further. And Jay Van Berlo, another one of these young players who is just going about his business and doing really well, finds Nat Fyfe out in front of the eyes. Nat Fyfe goes back and unfortunately can't repeat the task of just a few moments before, but he's still able to make the distance as we just continue to go into that forward 50. At this point in time, Collingwood were really struggling for answers. You can see from this kick out, it pretty much sums up their game to this point. Hayden Ballantyne wins the ball and waltzes right up to the open goal face and slams through another goal to make it 1-4-10, 5-5, 35. They finally did get their goal though for the second quarter, with Travis Cloke taking an easy mark in the goal square, but it was only a matter of time before we hit back. Look at this tackling effort from Jack Anthony. That is ball umpire. Thank you very much. Anthony takes it and slams it through for yet another goal for the Fremantle Dockers, and at half time, the big break, we go in 2-4-16 to 6-5-41. Kepler with those 2 goals in the first quarter really set us going on the right, down the right path. Mundy Crowley with 8 disposals and Mickey Barlow always chipping in with his 6 as well. We were really on top at this point in the game and we just looked to stretch it out a little bit further, but Collingwood did not go away. It is something about the Pies that they don't go away. Heathshaw takes a mark off a Michael Barlow clearance, bombs it in, and it's Travis Cloke there, loses his man in McPhee and is able to take an uncontested mark in the forward 50. He's not going to miss those either, Travis Cloke. He sinks it through for just Collingwood's 3rd goal of the match. One thing that really stands out in this game is our defensive spoiling efforts were just awesome. You see that one there, but this is my favourite. The ball gets bombed back in and Luke McFarlane punches the ball away from the mitts, from the grasp of Chris Dawes, and we only concede a behind from that, which was absolutely awesome. A fantastic defensive effort all the way around, I think, from our boys in this game. And we finally get on the break coming out of defence. The handball gets across to Aaron Sandlands, who has a go from the 50-metre arc. It goes all the way, but it's pulled back for the free kick for the high tackle. Aaron Sandlands is absolutely robbed by the umpire. But, you know, that's not the worst part. Although, I mean, sure, he should have paid advantage for that, the umpire, surely. But then, it happens again. Sandlands bombs it in. Kepler Bradley this time walks into an open goal, and again it is disallowed. That's 2 times the umpire should have paid advantage, but at long last, Kepler kicks the goal, and we get to see Brad Johnson do his stuff. As the 3/4 time siren drew closer, we started to have a few more chances as the pressure became too much for Collingwood to handle. We had our chances with David Mundy sending it long from 48, but it gets rushed, or touched I should say, right on the line. Love to see some goal line technology, but nevertheless, we do have our chances right in the last 5 or 6 minutes before the 3/4 time siren to really extend it to a match-winning lead, but we couldn't quite kick that closing goal, and we go into 3/4 time with a lead of 27 points over the Pies, 3-5-23 to 7-8-50. Kepler with 3 goals, David Mundy with a lot of touches, 12 to him, 11 to Ryan Crowley as well, and Jack Anthony pulling his weight with 8 disposals as well. For the last quarter of this game, we started to take our foot off the accelerator a little bit, and Collingwood started beating us in some passages of play. They got a loose man here through Luke Ball, who's able to just outpace Jay Van Berlo and find the chest of Chris Dawes. Now, I don't know why both players decided to run off the mark. Dawes missed it regardless. But not sure what the AI... I know one of the players ran away, but anyway, don't know why they were both running away from the mark. We do continue to have our chances. We didn't take too many of them, but I don't think that it really mattered too much. Collingwood definitely picked up their game for this last quarter, though. As you can see, Beams finding the chest of Clerk, and I have no idea why Jared Blair was left all on his own. Nick Lower, in fact, should have been tagging him a lot harder than that. But he goes back and misses it anyway. So, really, I think it was Collingwood that lost them this game in the last quarter. If they'd have taken a lot more of the chances that they had, it would have been much more interesting. They did get a goal back there through Andrew Cracker at long last, but it still just didn't seem to be happening for Collingwood. As much as, you know, I would have preferred to have a contest, I think they left it by far and away too little, too late for the Pies. And to end the game off, Paul Duffield takes an absolute screamer right at the end, right at the death, and that is full time at the MCG. So we run away with the 4 points over the Collingwood Magpies, but you never actually hear them called the Collingwood Magpies. Dude, it's always Collingwood or the Pies or something. But anyway, Travis Clerk, the biggest ball getter for them. He kicked 2 goals and got 10 touches. Cracker with 3 goals as well for them. Final score 5-8-38 to 7-11. 53. Kepler Bradley kicked the 3 goals. David Mundy got 15 touches. Crowley 13 and Mike Barlow with 12 as well. Well, there are 13 rounds gone now in the Fremantle Dockers AFL Live season mode, and we are hanging on to that top 4 spot by just percentage over Geelong, but we remain 1 game behind Hawthorn as we look to cement our position in the top 4 before we head into the finals. Now guys, for goal of the round for this time, I had to go with some good around the ground awareness and good team play. Aaron Sandlands gets a handball out to Jack Anthony, who soccers it back to the top of the square. Kepler Bradley gathers and snaps it around over his left shoulder to kick a very nice goal at an important time to assert our lead over Collingwood early in the game. And for the player of the round, I went with a man who filled the position on the field perfectly. David Mundy racked up 15 disposals, 11 tackles, 7 marks and 3 score involvements as well. He was so crucial. Not a lot of his stuff was highlight worthy, but I don't think we could have gotten over the line without him. Well guys, that is the end of the episode of this Fremantle Dockers AFL Live Season Mode installment. Thank you to everybody that has really been really patient while I've been trying to get this episode out. So thank you so much to everybody. If you haven't seen any of the other episodes, or if you've missed one, you can go back to the selection screen by clicking on the screen right now, and they'll take you back. You can see all of the matches that are up already, as well as the fixture for the rest of the season. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Cheers and stay tuned.